I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:33. Do we have any adjustments to the agenda?
Yes, we do. And I'll give those to you one at a time. Under new business, if you would add with letter D, the name of Tenny Spiegel. And I put the profile sheets in your packets. Under new business again, if you would revise letter A1 to read the RISE program. That's for Jessica Kutska? It should be the RISE room. And then under new business, if you would add letter A2, the name is Annette Ambrose, Ambrose. That is grade 6 through 8 resource room. And then the other adjustment will be when we get to the calendar. September and October, we'll need to adjust those dates. They did not come out correctly on your sheet. So, and that's under new business as well.
Is that everything?
Yes, ma'am.
Do I hear a motion to accept the agenda with those adjustments? Any recognitions this evening, Mr. Downing? Oh, sorry. All those in favor? Opposed? Now we can do recognitions.
I do. I'm very happy to announce that our Searsport District High School girls softball team repeated as Class D state champions with an impressive win over the Hodgkin team, and that's their 2 in a row, and they'll be going for the three-peat next year, and our boys hopefully will get back there as well. So congratulations to our girls softball team.
Okay, number 5, consideration of minutes. Do I hear a motion to accept the regular board meeting minutes of June 15, 2022?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? That's everybody. Consent agenda, Finance Committee meeting of June 15. I don't believe that requires any action. And number 7, presentations.
There are none.
And number 8, public participation. I don't believe we have.
Public still. Thank you for coming.
All right, report from the superintendent.
I have a few things here as well. First of all, Chris and I attended a Maine Ocean School meeting with Chris is our RSU 20 Board of Trustees representative, and Bud was there for Maine Ocean School. RSU 20 will continue to have a memorandum of understanding with the Maine Ocean School for this coming year, which means that we provide a classroom as well as some services such as a business manager, school nurse, guidance, things that the Maine Ocean School would need. They're currently in the process of looking at their program as well as enrollment figures. But as far as RSU 20, we'll continue to do what we've done since they started. The administrative team met with Paul Biddle. He is the Searsport Office of Emergency Management Director. This is the second time we've met with him in the last 3 weeks. This time what we did was we looked at RSU 20 emergency plans, and we're looking at another meeting on July 14th, which that will be, law enforcement will be doing a walkthrough on July 7th. We will be looking at the process, our plans, and we also had Dale Rowley there from the Waldo County Emergency Management. Their meetings are moving along quite well. Then we will plan to have a meeting where the board members will be brought in to discuss what we have within staff and community, and obviously with students, how we're going to practice the variety of emergency plans that we have in RSU 20. So I'll give you more of an update as we move through the month of July. Third point, RSU 20 has been involved with a study on electric buses. We've launched some webinars. We've talked to some folks. There's currently one electric bus being used in the state by a school system, and that is MDI. So we've been talking with them. What you probably would like to know is, would we get one? For $375,000, the answer would be, if the money's there. So the good news is that there are companies that are looking to provide free electric buses to school systems. So we've been involved with some of that discussion. Obviously that would not be something that we as a district would go alone. So again, more information as we talk with more schools within the state, with the Department of Ed, and also systems around the country, because there are systems that right now are using electric buses. So we'll bring more information to you. Just as far as a couple of the recent Supreme Court decisions, one involves Maine. It was, I forget the individual's name, versus Macon. Macon obviously is our Commissioner of Education. That was in relationship to tuition payments to religious schools that are approved by the state. And that's something that the Supreme Court has approved. So now the state of Maine Department of Education will need to look at that. We, as a school system, are waiting for legal advice because we have to know what we're looking at. As far as RSU 20, because we are not towns of choice, the lawyer right now is saying that those towns would not be affected, but towns such as like Vassalboro, there are other towns that have school choice. Those are the ones that will be involved with this decision by the Supreme Court. So again, it's one of those things you wait to get the right information before you say anything concrete. But again, it's really the towns that have school choice. And that's actually where the case originated from, was a town that had school choice. So there'll be more information on that. And let's see, trying to read my, interviews and are continuing. We do have a one tonight. And the individual is here. We all know Tenny. But we will be interviewing for the elementary dean position, for the director of maintenance and facilities, a third grade position, and high school guidance. Those are the ones right now that are ones that we're getting applications for, and they are coming in. So we'll be looking at interviews after the 4th. And that would be it. Lots going on, even though it's summer.
Any questions for Mr. Downing? I just have one clarification, Mr. Downing, in regard to the Supreme Court case. Those towns which have choice are those towns which do not have their own high school.
Correct.
And that's why they have school choice.
Yep. That is correct. Within the law, if you go to 20A, which is the main state statutes for education, there is a section, I think it's 5212 or somewhere around that number, that talks about residency. And there are exceptions to residency, and one of them is what you brought up. There's another if you have less than so many people in town. So that's where that's coming from. It was a challenge, and the Supreme Court ruled on it. So now we move forward.
No other questions or comments for Mr. Downing? All right. Number 10 is committee reports. Policy Committee has not met since our last school board meeting, and I believe I reported out on that June 6th meeting, but just to give a real quick recap, we are bringing you a first reading of the Family Medical Leave Act policy, which has a change in language. That'll be in your packets. We are still working on staff social media, making some additions to JL and JLR per DOE recommendation. And I believe that's it.
July
Section
11th.
C, also working on Section C. Yes, and our next meeting will be July 11th. Finance Committee has not met since June 15. I don't believe there's much of anything to report there, Mr.
No,
Downey?
they'll be meeting on, the next meeting for Finance Committee will be 9 August. Finance Committee does not meet in July.
Moving on to old business. I don't.
That's me.
Okay,
It's a report, not old.
okay.
Last board meeting, Chris brought up some 10 points. What Bob and I did was we went and looked for information, and Bob was able to pull that. I provided you with that, so you can look at it. It's a document that was printed out in 2000, I want to say 18. So I wanted you to see where those 10 came from, and each one is addressed within this report,
2020,
2020.
yeah.
So that'll give you a chance to look at that and see where some of those questions were provided. Gives you something to read while you're sitting on the porch.
So we can revisit that at our next meeting under old business for questions
Yes.
related to that?
Yep.
Okay. Any current questions related to school safety while we're here on item 11? No? Okay.
Gentlemen, that I wanted to do this first to see if this covers my question.
You all set, Denise? All right, that brings us to new business. And there's only 5 of these, so I can take them one at a time or all at once? Any preference?
The slate would be, I'm sorry. The slate would be if it's for employment. We have two teachers we're bringing forward, which you could take as a slate, or you can take them individually. The other one is an individual. That is
Okay.
D. Yep.
So in letter A, if there is no opposition, I will read those 2 together. So we're looking, I make a motion to consider the approval of Jessica Kustka, special ed teacher in the RISE program, and Annette Ambrose, grades 6 through 8, resource room. Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Can I ask just one question before we vote? How long do we give them for the pending certification, before this is pending certification?
The key question there is how long. That depends on the Department of Ed. They've got their paperwork in. They will be certified. It's just when the DOE, this is a busy time for the DOE.
So as long as, if people ask where it is, it says pending, all the paperwork's officially been turned in, we're just waiting for the, okay, I just. want
Correct,
people to know that.
correct, yep. We check certification and fingerprinting before we allow anybody in. Yep.
All right, we'll try that again. All those in favor? Unanimous? Item B is the consideration of the first reading of the Family Medical Leave Act policy change. That is in your packet. There's just a wording change there. I need to look at it to remind me what that wording changed.
Number 2, letter B. Yes.
So this is just the first reading. I
No
don't believe we
motion.
need to take I don't believe we need to take any action, correct? Correct. Okay. Letter C is consideration of the approval of the 22-23 Board of Directors meeting dates, which is attached, however, does require a change. I believe it's September and October. The dates need to be adjusted because they are currently listed as the 1st and 3rd and should be the 2nd and 4th. So we can accept as amended.
It would be September 13th and September 27th,
Correct.
and then the October dates are,
The 11th and the 25th.
thank you.
Do I hear a motion?
It doesn't affect November.
No.
All the rest are correct. We went over them again.
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous. And last but not least, the consideration of approval for SES Principal Tenny Spiegel.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous.
Congratulations, Tenny.
Chris, I'd like to take this meeting to thank Larry Clements for the last 7, I believe, years of service. It's greatly appreciated. We wish you the best in your new endeavor, and thank you for all you've done for Searsport Elementary School and all the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
I also echo that, obviously, because I spent a lot of time talking to poor Mr. Clement over the last few years. But I'm looking forward to seeing the momentum continue and what kind of new and expansive things we're going to do at the school. So I'm looking forward to hearing all those wonderful plans.
I believe that brings us to item number 13, date, time, and location for next board meeting.
12 July at 6:30, right here in this cafeteria.
Are we meeting for buildings and grounds before then?
We will be setting up interviews for the hiring of a facilities and maintenance person, and then we will be establishing a meeting date, and we will be going over the list of items that came off of the tour. Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Downing, it's that next meeting where we receive our assignments for our committees?
It will be nomination and election night of chair, vice chair, and committee assignments. Yes, ma'am. That's on July 12th.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you. Official time.
Official time is 6:52.
Thank you.